पूर्णाः कृपाकारी करो तारे वृंदावनवासी मराए अभिलाष विलास कुंज दिया नयने हेरिब सदा युगल रूप राशि এই নিবেদন ধর সখির অনুগত কর सेवाधिकार दिए कर निज दासी दीना कृष्ण दासे काय नमो रहाय श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेम सदा इन भासी श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेम सदा इन भासी यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपदे पदे जय वृंदे देवी जय वृंदे देवी तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी वृंदाय तुलसी देवी आय प्रियाय केशव सचा कृष्ण भक्ति प्रद देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवी आय प्रियाय केशव सचा कृष्ण भक्ति प्रद देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवी आय प्रियाय केशव सचा कृष्ण भक्ति प्रद देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय
आज का है 26-27 का भी परफॉर्म नहीं है तो 26-27 से लेके 6.7 और 9
Sixth Canto, Chapter 7, Text 28. Translation. O Brahmana, the highest duty of a son, even though he has son of his own, is to serve his parents. And what to speak of a son who is a brahmachari? A brahmachari. Text 29:30. Translation. The Acharya, the spiritual master who teaches all the Vedic knowledge and gives initiation by offering the sacred thread, is the personification of all the Vedas. Similarly, a father personifies Lord Brahma, a brother King Indra, a mother the planet Earth, a sister Mercy. A guest personifies religious principles, an invited guest personifies the demigod Agni, and all living entities personify Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. According to the moral instructions of Chanakya Pandit, Atmavat Sarva Bhutesu, one should observe all living entities to be on the same level as oneself. This means that no one should be neglected as inferior. Because Paramatma is seated in everyone's body, everyone should be respected as a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This verse describes the different ways in which one should respect a guru, a father, a brother, a sister, a guest, and so on. Text 31, Translation. Dear son, we have been defeated by our enemies, and therefore we are very much aggrieved. Please mercifully fulfill our desire by relieving our distress through the strength of your austerities. Please fulfill our prayers. Text 32, Translation. Since you are completely aware of the Supreme Brahman, you are a perfect Brahman, and therefore you are the spiritual master of all orders of life. We accept you as our spiritual master and director so that by the power of your austerity we may easily defeat the enemies who have conquered us. Purport. One must approach a particular type of guru to execute a particular type of duty. Therefore, although Vishwarup was inferior to the demigods accepted him as their guru to conquer the demons. Text 33. Translation. The demigods continue. Do not fear criticism for being younger than us. Such etiquette does not apply in regard to the Vedic mantras. Except in relationship to the Vedic mantras, seniority is determined by age, but one may offer respectful obeisances even to younger person who is advanced in chanting Vedic mantras. Therefore, although you are junior in relationship to us, you may become our priest without hesitation. Purport. It is said, Vidhatvam Yasya Vayasa Vina. One may be senior without being advanced in age. Even if one is not old, one gains seniority if he is senior in knowledge. Vishwarupa was junior in relationship to the demigods because he was their nephew. But the demigods wanted to accept him as their priest, and therefore he would have to accept obeisances from them. The demigods explained that this should not be a cause for hesitation. He could become their priest because he was advanced in Vedic knowledge. Similarly, Chanakya Pandit advises, Nichad api uttamam jnanam. One may accept education from a member of a lower social order. The Brahmanas, the member of the most elevated Varna, are teachers. But a person in a lower family, such as a family of Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, or even Sudras, may be accepted as a teacher if he has knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved of this when he expressed this opinion before Ramanand Rai. Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasi Sudra Kene Noy Ye Krishna Tattva Veta Sri Guru Hoy. It does not matter whether one is a Brahmana, Sudra, Grihastha or a sannyasi. These are all material designations. A spiritually advanced person has nothing to do with such designations. Therefore, if one is advanced in the science of Krishna consciousness, Regardless of his position in human society, he may become a spiritual master. Text 34. Translation. Sukdev Goswami continued. When all the demigods requested the great Viswarup to be their priest, Viswarup, who was advanced in austerities, was very much pleased. He replied to them as follows. Sri Viswarup said, O demigods, although the acceptance of priesthood is decried as causing the loss of previously acquired Brahminical power, how can someone like me refuse to accept your personal request? You are all exalted commanders of the entire universe. I am your disciple and must take many lessons from you. Therefore, I cannot refuse you. I must agree for my own benefit. Purport. The professions of a qualified Brahmana are Pathan, Pathan, Yajan, Yajan, Dan, Patigraha. The words Yajan, Yajana means that a Brahmana becomes the priest of a populace for the sake of their education. One who accepts the post of a spiritual master neutralizes the sinful reaction of the Yajman, the one on whose behalf he performs yajna. Thus, the result of the pious act previously performed by the priest or spiritual master are diminished. Therefore, priesthood is not accepted by learned Brahmanas. Nevertheless, the greatly learned Brahmana Viswarup became the priest of the demigods because of his profound respect for them. Text 36. Translation. O exalted governors of various planets, the true Brahmana, who has no material possessions, maintains himself by the profession of accepting Shilonchana. In other words, he picks up grains left in the field on the ground in the wholesale marketplace. By this means, householder Brahmanas who actually abide by the principle of austerity and penance maintain themselves and their families and perform all necessary pious activities. A Brahmana who desires to achieve happiness by gaining wealth through professional priesthood must certainly have a very low mind. How shall I accept such priesthood? Purport. A first class Brahmana does not accept any rewards from his disciple or Yajman. Practicing austerities and penances, he instead goes to the agricultural field and collects food grains left by the agriculturist to be collected by Brahmanas. Similarly, such Brahmanas go to marketplace where grains are purchased and sold wholesale. There they collect grains left by the merchant. In this way, such exalted Brahmanas maintain their bodies and families. Such priests never demand anything from their disciple to live in opulence, imitating Satriya or Vaisyas. In other words, a pure Brahmana voluntarily accepts a life of poverty and lives in completely dependence on the mercy of the Lord. Not very many years ago, a Brahmana in Krishnangara near Navadvip was offered some help from the local Jamindar Vraja Krishna Chandra. The Brahmana refused to accept the help. He said that since he was very happy in his householder life, taking rice given by his disciple and cooking vegetables of tamarind leaves, there was no question of taking help from the Zamindar. The conclusion is that although a Brahmana may receive much opulence from his disciple, he should not utilize the reward of his priesthood for his personal benefit. He must use them for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 37. Translation. All of you are my superiors. Therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. Text 38. Translation. Sri Sukdev Goswami continued. O king, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Viswarup, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. Purport. The word samadhina is very important. Samadhi means complete absorption with an undiverted mind. Vishwarup was a most learned Brahmana, not only accepted the request of the demigods, but took their request seriously and performed the activities of priesthood with an undiverted mind. In other words, he accepted the priesthood not for material gain but to profit the demigods. Such is the duty of a priest. The word Pura means family and Hita means benefit. Thus, the word Purohit indicates that the priest is a well-wisher of the family. Another meaning of the word Pura is first. A priest's first duty is to see that his disciple benefit spiritually and materially by all means. Then he is satisfied. A priest should never be interested in performing Vedic rituals for his personal benefit. Text 39, translation. The opulence of the demons, who are generally known as the enemies of the demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Sukracharya. But Vishwarup, who was most powerful, composed a protective prayer known as Narayan Kavach. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Mahendra, the king of heaven. Purport. The distinction between the demigods and demons is that demigods are all devotees of the Lord Vishnu, whereas demons are devotees of demigods like Lord Shiva, Goddess Kali, and Goddess Durga. Sometimes the demons are also devotees of Lord Brahma. For example, Hiranyakashipu was a devotee of Lord Brahma. Ravana was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Mahishasur was a devotee of Goddess Durga. The demigods are devotees of Lord Vishnu, whereas the demons, asuras, are always against the Vishnu Bhakt or Vaishnavas. To oppose the Vaishnavas, the demons become devotees of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Kali, Durga, and so on. In the days of yore, many long years ago, there was animosity between the Devas and the Asuras, and the same spirit still continues, for the devotee of Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga are always envious of the Vaishnavas, who are devotee of Lord Vishnu. This strain between the devotee of Lord Shiva and the Lord Vishnu has always existed. In the higher planetary systems, fight between the demons and the demigods continue for a long, long time. Herein we see that Vishwarup made for the demigods a protective covering saturated with the Vishnu mantra. Sometimes the Vishnu mantra is called Vishnu Jwara and the Shiva mantra is called Shiva Jwara. We find in the Shastra that sometimes the Shiva Jwara and Vishnu Jwara are employed in the fights between the demons and the demigods. The word Sura Dvisam, which in this verse means of the enemies of the demigods, also refers to the atheists. Srimad Bhagavatam elsewhere says that Lord Buddha appeared for the purpose of bewildering the demons or atheists. The Supreme Personality of Godhead always awards his benediction to devotees. The Lord himself confirmed this in Bhagavad Gita 9:31. Kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhaktya pranasyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Text 40, translation. Vishwarup was most liberal, spoke to Indra, the sacred hand that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 6th canto, 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Indra offends his spiritual master Brihaspati. Chapter 8. The Narayan Kavach series. Text 1 and 2. Translation. King Parikshit inquired from Sukdev Goswami, My lord, kindly explain the Vishnu mantra armor that protected King Indra and enabled him to conquer his enemies, along with their carriers, and enjoy the opulence of the three worlds. Please explain to me that Narayana armor by which King Indra achieved success in battle, conquering the enemies who were endeavoring to kill him. Text 3, translation. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, King Indra, the leader of the demigods, inquired about the armor known as Narayana Kavach from Viswarup, who was engaged by the demigods as their priest. Please hear Viswarupa's reply with great attention. Text 4 to 6 translation. Viswarup said, if some form of fear arrives, one should first wash his hands and legs clean and then perform achman by chanting this mantra Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvastham Gatopi Va Yasmaret Pundrikaksha Sabhayantara Suchi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Then one should touch kusa grass and sit gravely and silently facing north. When completely purified, one should touch the mantra composed of 8 syllables to the 8th part of his body and touch the mantra composed of 12 syllables to his hands. Thus, in the following manner, he should bind himself with the Narayana coat of armor. First, while chanting the mantra composed of 8 syllables, beginning with the Pranav, the syllable Om, one should touch his hands to the 8th part of his body, starting with the 2 feet and progressing systematically to the knees, thighs, abdomen, chest, heart, mouth, and head. Then one should chant the mantra in reverse, beginning from the last syllable Ya. While touching the part of his body in the reverse order, these two processes are known as Utpatti Nyas and Samhar Nyas respectively. Text 7. Translation. Then one should chant the mantra composed of 12 syllables Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Preceding each syllable by the Omkar, one should place the syllables of the mantra on the tips of his fingers, beginning with the index finger on the right hand and concluding with the index finger on the left. The 4 remaining syllables should be placed on the joints of the thumbs. Text 10. Translation. One must then chant the mantra of 6 syllables Om Vishnave Namah. One should place the syllable Om on his heart and the syllable V on the top of his head, the syllable Sa between his eyebrows, the syllable Na on his tuft of hair Sikha, and the syllable Ve between his eyes. The chanter of the mantra should then place the syllable Na on all the joints of his body and meditate on the syllable Ma as being a weapon. He should thus protect the perfect personification of the mantra. Thereafter, adding Visarga to the final syllable Ma, he should chant the mantra Ma Astraya Phat in all directions, beginning from the east. In this way, all directions will be bound by the protective armor of the mantra. Text 11. After finishing this chanting, one should think himself qualitatively one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full in 6 opulence and is worthy to be meditated upon. Then one should chant the following protective prayer to Lord Narayana, the Narayana Kavach. Text 12. Translation. The Supreme Lord, who sits on the back of the bird Garuda, touching him with his lotus feet, holds 8 weapons, the council, disc, shield, sword, club, arrows, bow, and rod. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead protect me at all times with his 8 arms. He is all powerful because he is fully possessed the 8 mystic powers, Anima, Laghima, etc. Purport. Thinking oneself with the Supreme is called Aham Grahopasana. Through Ahangaropasana, one should not become God, but he thinks of himself as qualitatively one with the Supreme. Understanding that as a spirit soul, he is equal in quality to the Supreme Soul, the way the water of a river is of the same nature as the water of the sea, one should meditate on the Supreme Lord as described in this verse and seek his protection. The living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme. Consequently, their duty is to always seek the mercy of the Lord in order to be protected by him in all circumstances. Text 13. May the Lord, who assumes the body of a great fish, protect me in the water from the fierce animals, and that are the associate of demigod Varuna. By expending his illusory energy, the Lord assumed the form of the dwarf Vaman. May Vaman protect me on the land. Since the gigantic form of the Lord Vishwarup conquers the three worlds, may he protect me in the sky. Purport. This mantra seeks the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the water, land, and sky in his incarnation as the fish Vamandev and Vishwarup. Text 14. Translation. May Lord Nrsimhadev, who appeared as the enemy of Hiranyakashipu, protect me in all directions. His loud laughing vibrated in all directions and caused the pregnant wife of the Asuras to have miscarriages. May that Lord be kind enough to protect me in all difficult places like the forest and battlefront. Text 15. Translation. The supreme indestructible Lord is ascertained through the performance of ritualistic sacrifices and is therefore known as Yageshwara. In his incarnation as Lord Bor, he raised the planet Earth from the water at the bottom of the universe and kept it on his pointed tusk. May that Lord protect me from the rocks on the street. May Parsuram protect me on the tops of the mountains. May the elder brother of Bharat, Lord Ramchand, all along with his brother Lakshman protect me in foreign countries. Purport. There are three Ramas. The Rama is Parsuram, another Rama is Lord Ramchand, and the third Ram is Lord Balram. In this word, the word Ramo Adrikuteswa Atha indicate Lord Parsuram, the brother of Bharat. Purport. There are three Ramas. One Ram is Parsuram, another Ram is Lord Ramchandra, and the third Ram is Lord Balram. In this verse, the word Ramo Adri Kuteswa Atha indicate Parsuram, the brother of Bharata Maharaj, and Lakshman is Lord Ramchandra. Text 16. Translation. May Lord Narayana protect me from unnecessarily following false religious system and falling from my duties due to madness. May the Lord in his appearance as Nara protect me from unnecessary pride. May Lord Dattatreya, the master of all mystic power, protect me from falling while performing bhakti yoga. May Lord Kapila, the master of all good qualities, protect me from the material bondage of fruitive activities. Text 17. Translation. May Sanat Kumar protect me from lusty desires. As I begin some auspicious activity, may Lord Hagrid protect me from being an offender by neglecting to offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord. May Devarsi Narad protect me from committing offences in worshipping the deity. And may Lord Kurma, the tortoise, protect me from falling to the unlimited hellish planets. Purpose. Lusty desires are very strong in everyone and they are greatest impediment to discharge of devotional service. Therefore, those who are very much influenced by the lusty desires are advised to take shelter of Sanat Kumar, the great brahmachari devotee. Narad Muni, who is the guide for Archana, is the author of Narad Panchrad, which prescribe the regulatory principles for worshipping the deity. Everyone engaged in deity worship, whether at home or in the temple, should always seek the mercy of Devarsi Narad in order to avoid the 32 offenses while worshipping the deity. These offenses in deity worship are mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. Text 18. Translation. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his incarnation as Dhanvantari, relieve me from undesirable eatables and protect me from physical illness. May Lord Rishabdev, who conquered his inner and outer senses, protect me from fear produced by the duality of heat and cold. May Yajna protect me from defamation and harm from the populace, and may Lord Balram, as says, protect me from envious serpents. Purpose. To live within this material world, one must face many dangers as described herein. For example, undesirable food poses a danger to health. Therefore, one must give up such food. Dhanvantari incarnation can protect us in this regard. Since Lord Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities, if he likes, he can save us from Adi Bhautika disturbances from other living entities. Lord Balram is the Sesa incarnation, therefore he can save us from angry serpent of envious persons who are always ready to attack. Text 19. Translation. May the personality of Godhead in his incarnation as Vyasadeva protect me from all kind of ignorance resulting from the absence of Vedic knowledge. May Lord Buddha Dev protect me from activities opposed to the Vedic principles and from the laziness that causes. May the personality of Godhead in his incarnation as Vyasadeva protect me from all kind of ignorance resulting from the absence of Vedic knowledge. May Lord Buddha Dev protect me from activities opposed to Vedic principles and from laziness that causes one to madly forget the Vedic principles of knowledge and ritualistic action. May Kalki Dev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who appeared as an incarnation to protect religious principles, protect me from the dirt of the age of purpose. This verse mentions various incarnations of the Supreme Person Godhead who appear for various purposes. Srila Vyasadeva Mahamuni compiled the Vedic literature for the benefit of all human society. If one wants to be protected from the reaction of ignorance even in this age of Kali, one may consult the book left by Srila Vyasadeva, namely the four Vedas, the 108 Upanishad, Vedant Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, and the other 17 Puranas. Only by the mercy of Srila Vyasadeva do we have some volumes of transcendental knowledge to save us from the clutches of ignorance. As described by Srila Jayadev Goswami in his Dasavatar Sur, Lord Buddha apparently decried the Vedic knowledge. The mission of Lord Buddha was to save people from the abominable activity of animal killing and to save the poor animals from being unnecessarily killed. When Pasandis were cheating by killing animals on the plea of sacrificing them in Vedic Yajna, the Lord said, if the Vedic injunction allow animal killing, I do not accept the Vedic principles. Thus, he actually saved people who acted according to Vedic principles. One should therefore surrender to Lord Buddha so that he can help one avoid misusing the injunction of the Vedas. The Kalki avatar is the fierce incarnation who vanquishes the class of the atheists born in this age of Kali. Now, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, many irreligious principles are in effect, and as Kali Yuga advances, many pseudo-religious principles will certainly be introduced. People will forget the real religious principles enunciated by Lord Krishna before the beginning of Kali Yuga, namely principles of surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Unfortunately, because of Kali Yuga, foolish people do not surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. Even most people who claim to belong to the Vedic system of religion are actually opposed to the Vedic principles. Every day they manufacture a new type of dharma on the plea that whatever one manufactures is also a path of liberation. Atheistic men generally say yata mata tatha pat. According to this view, there are hundreds and thousands of different opinions in human society, and each opinion is a valid religious principle. This philosophy of rascals has killed the religious principles mentioned in the Vedas, and such philosophies will become increasingly influential as Kali Yuga progresses. In the last stage of Kali Yuga, Kalki Dev, the fierce incarnation of Kesar, will descend to kill all the atheists and will save only the devotee of the Lord. Text 20 translation. May Lord Kesar protect me from his club in the first portion of the day. May Govinda, who is always engaged in playing his flute, protect me in the second portion of the day. May Lord Narayana, who is equipped with all potencies, protect me in the third part of the day. And may Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc to kill his enemies, protect me in the fourth part of the day. Purpose. According to Vedic astronomical calculation, day and night are each divided into 30 ghatikas, 24 minutes, instead of 12 hours. Generally, each day and each night is divided into 6 parts consisting of 5 ghatikas. In each of these 6 portions of day and night, the Lord may be addressed for protection according to different names. Lord Kesava, the proprietor of the holy place of Mathura, is the Lord of the first portion of the day. And Govinda, the Lord of Vrindavan, is the master of the second portion. Purport. According to Vedic astronomical calculation, day and night are each divided into 30 ghatikas, 24 minutes, instead of 12 hours. Generally, each day and each night is divided into 6 parts consisting of 5 ghatikas. In each of these 6 portions of the day and night, the Lord may be addressed for protecting according to different names. Lord Kesava, the proprietor of the holy place of Mathura, is the Lord of the first portion of the day. And Govinda, the Lord of Vrindavan, is the master of the second portion. Text 21 translation. May Lord Madhusudan, who carries a bow very fearful for the demons, may Lord Madhusudan, who carries a bow very fearful for the demons, protect me during the fifth part of the day. In the evening, may Lord Madhav, appearing as Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, protect me. And in the beginning of the night, may Lord Rishikesh protect me. At the dead of night, in the second and third part of night, may Lord Padmanabh alone protect me. Text 22. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who bears the Srivats on his chest, protect me after midnight until the sky becomes pinkish. May Lord Janardhan, who carries a sword in his hand, protect me at the end of the night, during the last 4:35 of night. May Lord Damodar protect me in the early morning, and may Lord Vishweshwara protect me during the junctions of day and night. Text 23 translation. Set into motion by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and rendering in all the four directions, the disc of the Supreme Lord has sharp edges as destructive as the fire of devastation at the end of the millennium. As a blazing fire burns dry grass to ashes with the assistance of the breeze, may that Sudarsana Chakra burn our enemies to ashes. Text 24 translation. O club in the hand of the Supreme Person Godhead, you produce sparks of fire as powerful as thunderbolts, and you are extremely dear to the Lord. I am also his servant. Therefore, kindly help me pound to pieces the evil living beings known as Kusmandas, Vinayakas, Yaksas, Rakshasas, Bhutas, and Grahas. Please pulverize them. Text 25 Translation. O best of counsel, O Panchajanya, in the hand of the Lord, you are always filled with the breath of Lord Krishna. Therefore, you create. Therefore, you create a fearful sound vibration that causes trembling in the heart of the enemies like the Rakshasas, Paramatha Ghosh, Pretas, Matas,
ये जा रहे हैं ठीक है सर
ऋषि कुमार.
हाँ नीचे होंगे रूम में या ऑफिस में
तुलसी फ्रेंड मिल गया तो
ये ले जाओ वो गए
कुछ लाना है. हाँ तो नीचे में मामा जी बोले थे मामा
कम है, ठीक है।
I did something at night. I'll show it to you. And it in front of me. Shall I read out what I made? Or you made more changes as well? I made some changes what Mataji sent. I'll read it out for you and I'll get a front of the correction. Mataji sent me that at night. And at night I made some corrections. Shall we read it out? If you're okay, I'll get you print off later. Devotees, please accept my humble obeisance. I had the privilege of working with Radhamkaran Maharaj since 19 whatever that year I had. Radhamkaran Maharaj became a devotee in Amsterdam. After some time he moved to Mayapur where he took up a lot of responsibilities. He was in charge of developing the Mayapur master plan. He has held several key positions in ISKCON. To my knowledge, he first worked in the planning and execution of the Mayapur plan. Later on, he resigned and travelled extensively in Europe and America. As he was a capable and well-respected devotee, he was regularly provided strategic assignments by the GBC. For the last 3 to 4 years, he was serving as the officer on special duty for. It is not clear for what. Which temple? Brooklyn, New York. That part was not mentioned, so I'll add that. This was a challenging assignment as the Brooklyn temple was totally mismanaged for it. How much? Yeah, sure. No, I'll make the changes here itself. Not rested properly. This was a challenging assignment as the Brooklyn temple was totally mismanaged for a long time. Radhamkaran Maharaj was really attracted to staying and serving in Vrindavan. A few years ago, he was invited to serve on the Vrindavan Executive Board. I had the good fortune of working with Maharaj in several occasions. He first worked together in Vrindavan. Radhamkaran Swami was a brave soldier of Prabhupada's army. He unfortunately was constrained to make a lot of to face a lot of opposition in Vrindavan because he was trying to clean up the environment. Instead of saying he made enemies, that looked very negative. He was really bold in his service, and as many he had to face a bullet because he was sincerely trying to clean up Vrindavan. After this incident, he left Vrindavan and preached extensively in Europe and South Africa. Sorry, what is? No. There's one point I thought was, then I make sense. Later on, he took up the services of an initiating guru and his disciples all over Europe and many parts of the world. Kadamkaran Maharaj was a very dedicated devotee of Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON. Now, this seemed a little repetitive, but it is okay. One place you mentioned is the soldier and the place. That's fine. He faced many obstacles, but this did not discourage him from carrying out his duty. To serve Srila Prabhupada's movement, especially in Vrindavan. He discovered that he was infected with cancer in whatever, that year, I will check. Last year, which month or something, maybe it's okay. This did not discourage him. He received medical care and continued to preach. I had good fortune of meeting Kadamkaran Maharaj in his room barely 5 to 6 days ago. Maharaj was lying down on his bed and I was sitting next to him along with Puja Chaitanya Prabhu. Even though Maharaj was in pain, he was completely relaxed and we could spend about an hour together. Kadamkaran Maharaj will be remembered as a great Vaishnava who came to Srila Prabhupada's movement in different parts of the world. He was a very good musician and very fondly remembered by devotees by leading kirtans. It looks very odd that he was fond of leading kirtans. He was also a very capable speaker instead of saying lecturer, and he was quite fluent in Bengali and Hindi as well. I enjoyed working with him. I pray to Sri Krishna Balram to grant him eternal shelter at their lotus feet. I am sure Srila Prabhupada and his Holiness Jayadeva Swami Maharaj are immensely pleased with Kadamkaran Swami Maharaj and that he will continue to serve the movement as he did before. You added more? The last 2 lines I added because there has to be some conclusion. Because ending very yeah. So you wanted me to polish it up, so I deleted a few words, added a few more words to that. Yeah. But do not think, and conclusion was not good. There was no conclusion. Yeah. You will speak, Guru Maharaj? Or you will send it out? I'll try and fill in the dates. I'll give you this version anyway. You decide whichever you want. Yeah. Yeah. So I changed some 4-5 words. What was it? Right? I'll add the dates. And, 2-3 points that I felt was instead of saying male enemies, that looks very negative. So say that he had to face and instead of just saying he was just because he's well respected, he got very odd. This is very capable and well respected. Another place he said he was fond of living kirtans. So that sounds a lot. So said that. Yeah, no, it's going on. Give you by Puja time, then 7:15. Kind of. You probably need some rest. But because your voice is enhanced, you will speak normal. Zoom generally, Zoom out of so you speak on Zoom. Or you record this time. because it is addressing somebody, it should be different. Just says daily routine.
So beautiful.
What should have been 2 lines of the opening? Yeah, but it is after 2 lines. But the opening itself is not very powerful. I think I'll do something like that.
इसमें पानी कम है.
नहीं ऊपर होंगे ऊपर छत के ऊपर तो आ रहा था तो कहाँ था हैं वो आ रहा था तो कौन आ रहा था आ रहा था तो क्या था क्या कर रहा था मैं देखा नहीं दूसरे पीछे पड़ जाते हैं कृष्ण माता की क्या देखो
एक मिनट। जोशीना, जोशीना, यस यस। काढ़ा है, अदरक उदरक डाल के उसमें बनाओ।